I'm going to show you how to play the right hand of Poison Ivy and also talk about dynamics and expression. Poison Ivy is in the key of B minor. The relative major is D major, and that means they have the same key signature. So D major has an F sharp and a C sharp. So if we do the same thing starting on B, we get the key of B minor. Sometimes there's an accidental, that's an extra sharp, and that's the leading note, which is the last but one note, and that would sound like this. But in this composition, it's the natural minor, so there are no A sharps. The first phrase rocks between the second and third finger, and it goes from C sharp to D. So it's worth putting your hand in this hand position, so your thumb's on B, your little finger can rest on F sharp, second finger on C sharp. So you could also play the 5 notes in that hand position. And they're perfectly positioned. So people tend to sort of have their hand here and then try and stretch here, and it's very awkward. The piano should be very, very comfortable. So there's our hand position. We're going to rock between C sharp and D. And it goes up to E. And then we rock between our thumb and our second finger. And go and play that 5th finger on F sharp, which was waiting there. Now at this point we're going to move down a hand position, so you don't have to just do that. You can just stretch your thumb, put it there, and then bring the rest of the fingers into that A major hand position, rocking on the A and B, playing the E, and then the 4th finger just needs to go down to the 3rd finger. Then you get the exact same tune, so it's an exact repetition. That's very, very common in some of these compositions of mine, just so that you don't have to learn a whole new set of materials to continue the piece. But I like to make the ending different. So in this second half of the piece, the ending goes from, I picked it up in bar 15. Got a little tucking under of the thumb. So tucking under the thumb is literally, it does that. And that allows me to be able to play higher than if I hadn't tucked my thumb under. Otherwise I'd have to go be hard. I couldn't stretch it, and I want to make the phrase legato, which means smooth, so it sounds smooth basically. Just a couple of other things. Playing the piano is quite difficult to make it expressive. If you play a violin, you can add a thing called vibrato where the note shakes. You can do the same thing on a saxophone, but with the piano you can shake the note as much as you want. It doesn't make any difference. So we get a lot of expression by louds and softs. The first phrase is played MP. This means mezzo piano. There are only a few instances where it gets slightly louder, for example in bar 15 where it's mezzo forte, which means medium loud. So it's not a particularly loud piece. There's a lot of crescendos and decrescendos. These are the words for gradually getting louder and gradually getting softer. And the notation for that is a hairpin, which starts very small and gets bigger to get louder, and then the opposite to get softer. So it starts like that and then it gets smaller. And that's the kind of thing that makes something come alive. So the first phrase is quiet and then it gets slightly louder and softer. So I'll demonstrate how that sounds. So you can hear there that I was gradually getting louder and softer, so you get this sort of swelling effect. The very final phrase is mezzo forte, so I'll just show you what that dynamic sounds like. I'll just go from bar 14. In fact, I'll go from 13. the end there was a decrescendo, that's a gradually getting softer mark. So it brings it to a nice ending.